It has been officially a full year since I got my Tesla Powerwall 3 and solar panels installed on my home. Now that it's been a full year, I want to bring you guys along for the entire journey, show you what it's been like for the full year, what the system's produced. We're here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I have a home that's not really surrounded by any sort of trees anywhere, so I get pretty good sun exposure. So realistically, did it meet my expectations? Did it not meet my expectations? Did I make money? Did I lose money? Let's talk about it all after 1 year of solar ownership. Okay, to recap, back in December of 2024, so a full year ago, a little over a year at this point, we'll talk about that, I had a Tesla Powerwall 3, a single Tesla Powerwall 3 module, as well as 13.4 kilowatt hours of solar on my roof installed. Overall, the project cost me a little over $30,000. There are a bunch of rebates going at the time, so I've got basically a free Powerwall and a considerable amount off the roof, so my total out-of-pocket expense really was not nearly that high. And based on my predictions, I kind of assumed how much electricity I'd be producing through the year. If you guys want to learn more about the rebates and the exact system that I have installed, I'll leave a video linked up above. Make sure you watch that video first so you know exactly what's going on with this house. So, as we start talking about this thing, I want to say I have not really changed how I live my life as far as energy consumption at my house. I know I have this system, I know solar comes in, but realistically, I have not really adjusted anything I do. We have net metering here in North Carolina, so everything I give, all the excess I give, I get to use back at the same price, so it's really not a big deal of when I use power, and I haven't been trying to reduce my electricity usage even a little bit. It's been pretty consistent year after year. One thing that really struck me as something I didn't expect was the weather. And I know I talked about this on my 6-month update. I expected, especially at the beginning of the year, if you see the curve in the app of my solar production from January, February, March, and April, the curve, the graph starts really climbing as the hours of sunlight really increase here. I was really expecting that to continue. I know my energy usage in the summer with the AC running is super high, so I was expecting maximum energy production in the summer, but what I found was, at least this year in 2025 in North Carolina, it was super cloudy and rainy all the time. Even today as I make this video, it is currently raining outside. So that was a big hit, and really most of the year has been that way. And honestly, I don't know if I've really paid attention to years past to know if it's been like this before, if this is a normal thing, or if 2025 was unusually wet. But I can tell you, between the clouds and the rain, especially in the afternoon, my solar production was really less than I thought it was going to be. That said, I still ended up with a net positive for the year. I still gave back to the power company a little bit more than I used for the entire year. So even with a reduction in what I thought I was going to produce, I'm still in the positive. Now that positive just isn't quite as high as I thought I was going to be. So throughout the year, I had bill credits every single month. I never had one month where I owed money. They were all negative, which means I had bill credits all through the year. And by the end of the year, I'm now at about negative $100 for the entire year. We have the Powerwall here. We've had a couple outages through the year. I think we had a total of about 4 outages, the longest one lasting for about 6 hours. The Powerwall was awesome in those cases. I would get a little flicker of the lights. Sometimes the flicker was long enough because the power does that on-off thing a couple times. I had maybe some Wi-Fi routers that would reset, or the TV might turn off. I had to turn it back on. But other than that, I had pretty much continuous power, which is great. Through my Duke Energy system, they have the virtual power plant program here in Raleigh, and that has had several usages. That's pretty much the deepest discharges I've had on this thing. I feel pretty confident, although it didn't happen this year, that if a hurricane or other big event came through where I lost power for more than a day, which has happened in the past, that between the solar system, assuming it's at least somewhat clear during the day, and the Powerwall, you'd be able to survive that event with full power to your home, especially if you're just a little bit conscious about how you're using it, even without the grid backing you up, and be able to live somewhat normally, all things considered. In 1 year, I've not had to clean my panels at all. Every time it rains, it seems to do a pretty good job cleaning them. I put the drone up and look at them every now and then, and they seem like they're in pretty good shape. I really have no issues with those. I've had one issue with my Powerwall, at least one issue with my system in general, where it went offline, and that was just after my 6-month video, which was kind of ironic. The problem was during installation, they did not properly hook some of the wires together up in the attic as they're coming through, and that caused a problem. It caused an error. They just had to rerun one of those wires. So it was nothing to do with the actual Tesla Powerwall. It was nothing to do with the solar panels. It was the installation, which kind of validates what I'd heard in the past, that installation quality really is what makes or breaks these systems. Find a good installer, somebody that knows what they're doing, that has done this a lot and is experienced with the products that you're using and can ensure a proper installation, and you're going to have a much better experience than just finding the cheapest person out there. So we talked about the money before and the break-even point, and that's still, I think, on track. Even though we're not really making a whole lot of money, we made $100 for the year with our solar system. That's not really what's going to be paying back this system. It's because we don't have to pay for electricity. So as long as we are net positive and as long as we have that bill credit every year, however much or however little that is, all of our money can go directly into paying this off. Whatever we would have paid for electricity anyway can pay this off. And in less than 10 years, we're going to have this thing fully paid off. It's warranted for 25. It should be producing for over 20, probably 30 years is what I would expect. And as far as energy independence goes, that's a good feeling. Now, we recently did pick up a new car. This is not electric, so I'm not too worried about having to increase production yet. There is a time in the future, I'm sure we'll get an electric vehicle, and when we do, we'll probably have to increase our output a little bit. We do still have space on the roof to add more panels, especially on the western side, that we'll get in the later evening. And that will hopefully help us accommodate for an electric vehicle in the future, and that is potentially in the plans. I did consider going with a second, either the expansion pack for the Powerwall or a second Powerwall, and right now I just don't think it's needed. If we had a lot of long-term energy outage scenarios, probably useful. If we went to a time of use scenario thing, we could probably justify an additional one. But as of right now, with net metering, with the only couple hours at most power outages that we experience here and how infrequent they are, I can't quite justify adding another one. There's really not a whole lot of utility I'll get from adding another Powerwall. Now, I have spoken to a few people about systems like this and what it's done for me since I've gotten it. Honestly, I know some of the rebates are expiring, some of the tax credits are expiring and being cut off. Some of the power pair programs and some of the incentives are starting to go away because these systems have become so prolific. If you drive around any neighborhood around here, you'll see there's quite a few solar panels on the roof. So if you look at other places in the nation, we're kind of getting to that point where it's no longer in demand to have residential solar. We have enough of it and we're producing enough energy during the day. The power company doesn't really need it. The battery backups are becoming a big thing, and one day I'm sure time of use will come here like it has everywhere else, and battery storage like the Powerwall will be certainly worthwhile. That said, the initial purchase incentives probably won't be there. As far as other concerns, I've had people tell me that potentially overheating will happen on the roof, that your house will get super hot. There is a decent standoff. If you look at these panels, they're not right on the roof. There is a little air gap underneath them. And my attic is then insulated as well. So I don't expect I'd really notice any sort of heat transfer from those things. The Powerwall itself does put out a little heat. You can really hear that fan kick up every now and then when it starts getting a lot of solar input or when it starts getting pretty hot. I've never had an overheating scenario, but it does, to the touch, put off a lot of heat. So in the winter, it's kind of nice. It helps heat my garage. We had pretty decent discussions in the comments in the last couple videos, so likewise, if you have questions or thoughts on the system that I have or the residential solar stuff in general, leave them down in the comments below. I'll respond to as many as I can, and I'm sure it'll be helpful for others. Again, NC Solar Now was the company that installed mine, and although we had the one installation issue, they came right out and fixed it and have been super easy to deal with. I have no regrets from going with that company here, and honestly, the Powerwall 3, the REC Alpha Pure 2 panels that I have all worked great. I have no issues, at least at the 1 year point, with any of those. And after 1 year, I still think they're the right decision. So with that, that's my 1 year update on my solar system, my Tesla Powerwall 3, my 13, almost 13 and a half kilowatts of solar on the roof. I think I got in at the right time. I think the rebates were good. If you guys can still find the rebates and are all considering this, jump on it now because those are disappearing. I'll still bring updates from time to time if anything abnormal happens, but this will be my last scheduled update for the solar system. So if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. The system's been great so far. Even over one cloud a year, it has still produced more than I've used in a year, and I'm still happy with it. Again, I'm Chris. This is 4K Motoring. Make sure you subscribe and like this video if you want to see more of it, and thanks for watching.